it could turn criminal really fast. They're just using a civil suit to knock down a lot of your money. I'm seeing this happen with a lot of rappers, a lot of athletes, and people are not paying attention to that.
He wouldn't take no for an answer, so he overpowered me, put me to my knees, put his penis in my mouth.
It must be targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of this tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
Looks like this whole Shannon Sharpe drama just got way messier than anyone expected. Mace just jumped into the convo, and he's convinced Shannon's not just in legal hot water, he's headed straight to jail. Mace is saying this civil lawsuit, it's just the warm-up. He claims it's all part of a strategy to drain Shannon's bank account, so when the real criminal case hits, he won't have enough cash left for top-tier lawyers. And honestly, Mace might not be wrong, because now, even more people are stepping forward with fresh accusations, and every single one sounds worse than the last. Things are spiraling fast, and it's starting to look like Shannon could lose everything he built. His ESPN bag, the podcast fame, his TV appearances, all of it gone in a blink. Even the nickname Unk, that might vanish too if this keeps going. But the real question is this a setup? Or is there more to the story than we ever knew? Where are all these new alleged victims suddenly coming from? This whole thing is getting real wild.
You're picking me now, so.
I don't want to be, don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the shit on you when I see you.
Everybody's been throwing in their opinions on this Shannon Sharpe mess. Some folks are riding for him, but plenty of others are ready to see him fall. But if you ask Mace, he says the real threat ain't even this lawsuit. It's something way bigger brewing behind the scenes. On a recent episode of It Is What It Is with Cameron, Mace went off. He didn't sugarcoat anything. First thing out of his mouth was, why did nobody tell Shannon that trying to throw $10 million at his accuser was a horrible move?
For him to offer $10 million says that there might be some truth to this, because I'm not offering nobody no $10 million if I know I didn't do anything. And I think the only reason that $10 million didn't work, Killer, I want to know how you feel about this. I think the $10 million didn't work because the pimp need his cut. You know, just allegedly. I'm not saying there is a pimp, right? Let me give you. It's just an idea. This is just an idea, right?
Like seriously, offering that kind of money after getting accused? That don't make you look innocent. It makes you look guilty as hell. No way around it. But Mace didn't stop there. He threw in a twist that sounded funny at first, but when you sit with it, it's kinda unsettling. Mace pointed out that Shannon's accuser still decided to take him to court, even after being offered all that money. And yeah, that's kinda sus.
Right there. For real? Yeah, that for a lot of money. You know how guys be, and they pushed her on her. And then she said 10. And he was like, 10 is my 10. You gotta put in your number for yourself. That don't have nothing to do with mine. 10 is mine. That's what we discussed. I'm just telling you.
Why turn down a bag that big unless you got something way more serious to prove? So here's the backstory. Court docs list the accuser as Jane Doe, but online sleuths wasted no time and quickly figured out her real identity, Gabriela Zuniga, a 21-year-old OnlyFans model who goes by Gabby. And what she's saying, it's serious. Gabby claims she met Shannon at a gym in LA when she was just 19, while he was around 54. That age gap alone had people talking, but it's what came next that's got the internet in shock. Gabby says Shannon chased her down, and they eventually got into a relationship, but it wasn't romantic. According to her, Shannon was controlling, constantly tracking her, and expected her to be at his beck and call 24/7. But it didn't stop there. It got even darker. According to the court documents, things spiraled after Shannon was involved in that wild scandal last year. Remember when he accidentally went live on Instagram while in bed with another woman? Gabby says she was beyond humiliated and decided to end things right then. But Shannon wouldn't back off. She claims he sweet-talked her into letting him come over to talk. But once he got there, things allegedly turned violent. and she says he forced himself on her. Gabby says the situation didn't stop even after she begged Shannon to leave her alone. According to her, things got way worse. In January 2025, Shannon allegedly popped up at her place again, claiming he wanted to drop off some gifts, but once he got inside, she says he forced himself on her again. This time, she says it was even more disturbing. Not only did he ignore her repeated pleas for him to use protection, but she also claims he crossed serious boundaries without any consent. According to her, he did things she clearly said no to, and she was left completely devastated. After that incident, she reportedly sent him a heartbreaking text message that read, "But I cried when you left because I begged you to put A on and not put it in my A-hole, and you didn't listen. I don't care what our history is. No means no." That message is now making rounds and adding even more weight to her claims. But here's where it takes another wild turn. After the lawsuit dropped, Shannon's legal team clapped back by leaking messages Gabby allegedly sent him. One of the texts from October 7th, 2023 said, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me." And another message dated January 1st, 2025, just days before the second alleged encounter, said, "I know you missed this big juicy behind. $25,000 for each cheat?" Honestly, no one's really sure what Shannon's legal team was thinking by putting these messages out there. It ended up making him look even worse. And just when people thought it couldn't get any crazier, Gabby's lawyer, Tony Busby, dropped another bomb. He released audio recordings that allegedly caught Shannon threatening Gabby. In one of the clips, Shannon can reportedly be heard saying he's gonna choke her out, and makes it clear she doesn't have a say in it.
I don't know. Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. It is what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a me now, so
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
oh Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you when I see you.
I don't.
You know what?
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
But here's where it gets twisty. Now there's talk going around that those recordings might have been edited to make Shannon look worse than he really was. People are starting to believe this whole case might go way deeper than just a messed up relationship between Shannon and Gabby. And that's exactly why Mace said the $10 million offer being turned down didn't sit right with him. Let's be real. $10 million isn't a small bag. In cases like this, it's often hard to prove anything, and public opinion can flip fast, especially when it involves a young OF model going against a wealthy, famous man. It's easy for people to paint her as someone chasing clout and cash. But Mace suggested she didn't walk away from that money on her own. He believes there are other players behind the scenes, people who wanted their cut too, and didn't want that quick settlement shutting things down. And get this, he even said all this chaos popped off right when Shannon was about to lock in a massive $100 million podcast deal. If that's true, then this isn't just scandal, it's power, money, and major moves being made in the shadows. Mace might have said it with a laugh, but people in the comments started taking it real serious. Like, is Shannon being set up for real?
You know, when you're about to get a bunch of money, people that hate on you just wait until you're about to get that money and rain on your parade, but we can't say that. And that's why I wanted to say it, to get Stats' opinion. I knew when I said that she was gonna go, yeah. No, you can't be on your way to 100 million. I keep telling Killer, right? And niggas picking these kind of girls. You can't do that. We talked about this with Ant-Man. We talked about this with several players. You just can't do that. You about to get 100 million. You can't throw it away for IG model. Is she an IG model?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. How does that work?
she got her separate account and she do her thing on there, and people.
But Mace didn't stop there. He said Shannon may have walked right into a trap that snared plenty of powerful men before him. Once the first accusation hits, it's not just about the drama, it's about how fast the money starts flying out the door. According to Mace, this first lawsuit, it's just the bait. The real goal is to drain Shannon's cash and throw him off balance before the real case even starts.
We also got to start paying attention, fellas, when they're telling you it's a civil suit. Don't feel like that's just a civil suit. If it's civil suit, but it's something criminal, it could turn criminal really fast. They're just using the civil suit to knock down a lot of your money. I'm seeing this happen with a lot of rappers, a lot of athletes, and people are not paying attention to that. Another way that people are just green to the streets, you know, that's just one entity trying to walk away some of your money, so that when they double back and say, well, this was you did this over here, because 9 times out of 10, if one girl say something, then somebody else gonna come say something, because they're like, people are getting paid, and people are getting paid for nothing. And I really got some issues, or they may really have a text or really have a message, and it's like, I don't know what to do or what to tell fellas now.
As soon as Shannon's name started trending over the lawsuit, online investigators started combing through his past, looking for anything that could explain his alleged behavior. And trust, what they found was wild. One bombshell that resurfaced from Shannon's ex, Michelle Evans. Turns out she had filed for a restraining order against him back in 2023 and later sued him for defamation. Now folks are putting the pieces together and realizing this ain't just about one lawsuit or one woman. These stories are starting to stack up, and each one adds more heat to Shannon's already explosive situation. In the lawsuit, Michelle Evans, Shannon's ex, dropped some disturbing claims. She said they had been in a relationship for nearly 10 years, but it all came crashing down in September 2010 after a heated fight. According to Michelle, the argument started because she called him out for allegedly cheating. But then things took a terrifying turn. Michelle claimed that during the fight, Shannon got violent, forcing her to perform something intimate against her will.
He wouldn't take no for an answer, so he overpowered me, put me to my knees, put his penis in my mouth.
After that, she says he pushed her onto the bed and assaulted her while allegedly saying, "I'll make it so no other man will want you." That line hit hard, because Gabby, in her lawsuit, says Shannon told her the exact same thing years later. Gabby said in October 2024, after she tried to cut ties, Shannon showed up to her place and allegedly forced her into a similar act. She claimed he told her, "You've disrespected me so much. I'm going to punish this a-hole. I'm going to make it so no man will want you again." Then she says he violated her from behind. And while doing it, he allegedly said, "Look at my arm. I've got chills. That's how good this is." Gabby said she was crying the entire time, sobbing uncontrollably. And Michelle? She claimed that after everything, Shannon became even more violent, like the attack had flipped a switch in him.
Behaving, and I could see it wasn't going to go away, and he said he was going to destroy me and he was going to kill me, and he told me he was watching me, and all that. I just went and got a protective order.
These stories lining up like this, it's got people wondering if there's a pattern here that's only now starting to come to light. Michelle claimed that after the alleged assault, Shannon started threatening to ruin her if she ever spoke up. It didn't stop there. She said he began calling her over and over, making threats, and even stalking her. He'd constantly remind her that he was watching her, which pushed her to finally file for a restraining order just to feel safe. When this lawsuit came back into the spotlight, Shannon's camp didn't waste any time. They fired back at Michelle, claiming she was just jumping on the Shannon hate train to get a payout. His team called her case-old news, full of fanciful exaggerations and blatant misrepresentation of facts. They said it had zero merit and insisted Shannon did absolutely nothing wrong.
Why didn't you file a police report when he raped you?
Because I was scared for my life. He said he would use it. Everybody he knows, and he knows lots of police officers.
Same story with Gabby. He denied everything and claimed her entire lawsuit was just a straight-up shakedown. But here's the thing. People are still talking. And the way this story keeps unraveling, It looks like Shannon's finally realizing just how deep this thing might go. With multiple allegations resurfacing and the public eye locked in, there's a real chance he could be facing some serious consequences, maybe even jail time. So what do you think? Is Shannon going to be held accountable for all this? Or is this just another scandal that'll fade out in a few weeks? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss any of these explosive updates. Catch you on the next one.